Hey guys, Andy here with Authentic Nerds Don't Yield. I'm doing a review for Green Lantern episode 1. Just watched it. I didn't get to watch it last night because it was a little late and I had to work. So I'm going to do a pretty in-depth review of this. I got some notes here. So first off, I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. Read almost everything. Got a ring. Fucking in the thumbnail I have... Oh my god, I don't even know how many graphic novels. A lot. I've seen everything with Green Lantern in terms of animated stuff, the TV shows, the Ryan Reynolds movie, which honestly isn't that bad in hindsight. I've read so much. Blackest Night, obviously, that's the thing that everyone says, but I have Emerald Dawn 1 and 2 in original copies of the single comics. I have a lot. Green Lantern shirt. Yeah, I love Green Lantern. So many figures of the McFarlane phase and all that. So yeah, let's get into it. First off, I have been really looking forward to a Green Lantern property for a long time, and I have been following the castings and stuff like that over the past couple of years. And to be honest, I'm not really happy where the DCU is, and I'm not happy with a lot of decisions in the show. That being said, there's some highlights that are okay and I don't hate, but overall, I fucking hate what they've done with Hal Jordan, hate what they've done with the Green Lantern kind of legacy, and just the absolute abomination that they're trying to pull. And it's pissing me off more because I see how many people online are saying how great this is, and they're fucking retarded. So needless to say, I don't like this show. I'm going to keep watching it. One episode is hard to go off of, but I see enough red flags where I can't pretend this is good. So the biggest thing that I think was the biggest giveaway, and this is spoilers, obviously. So Hal is in the 1990s, the 2016s, and then 2026. So we get a couple different decades throughout this. It was rumored, and again, spoilers, it was rumored early on that Hal was going to die and John would take over his legacy. And that can happen for sure at some point, but you can't do that right fucking out of the get-go. I think it's so disrespectful to this amazing character. The legacy that he has in the comics, like TV, movie, anything like that, they just shit on it. So I'll go chronologically. So the 90s, Hal looks like they make him, how much earlier is this? I guess so 2026 is current day. So this is 30 years ago. He looks the fucking same, but he has just for men black hair. It's ridiculous. I from the early stages of casting, there are so many names I wanted them to do, and my interpretation was to cast someone younger or in their 30s for a good Hal Jordan. As soon as they announced that Kyle Chandler was official, I was so fucking pissed. Kyle Chandler's a good actor. I remember him most from Friday Night Lights and Wolf of Wall Street. That's not Hal fucking Jordan though. Maybe when he was younger, fuck man, this is so dumb. So Hal looks way too old, and then they do the flashbacks. He looks still too old, but he has black hair. So we're never gonna get a recasted younger version of him. It's just him, because the 90s is old enough. They say he was been a Green Lantern for 10 years. That's ridiculous. So this suit, awful, and I think a majority of people think that's terrible, and some people are like, well, in the comics he had at some point. No, it's a construct. Even if they're trying to switch shit with Alan Scott or whatever, no, it is what it is. You have to fucking create it out of your ring, and they had this bulky motorcycle suit, and it's just awful, and he sticks with that, and it just gets more faded. But the one in the flashback is just so bad. So he says, what is it? He says before they cut to the Jordans, the kids and everything, once you lose a parent, there's nothing to fear anymore. That's so broad and that also doesn't make sense because I feel like that applies more to losing a kid rather than a parent, because your life is kind of just starting, not just starting, but like there's so much more to be scared of after that. So that was a weird line. And then, so after that, the dad, Jordan father, comes home and he's pissed at his son, John, for, I guess, lying about the fight he got in at school or whatever. And his dad makes him go outside and puts an apple on his head and he shoots the apple off to make sure he doesn't have fear. That's fucked, first of all, for a lot of reasons. But that's your way of showing that he doesn't have fear and that he could be worthy one day. I that's a weird writing move, and I bet the writers are like, "Oh, this is sick. Like, let us cook." You know, it's like, fuck. Like, I like Aaron Pierre's casting actually a lot, and I think that scene had good acting or whatever. But I'm just like, the writing is just already off to like a weird start, and the costume design on him, I'm like, really don't like it. And then they go to the 2016s, which it seems like 90% of the show is going to take place there. Could be wrong, but at least this episode was that. And then this is a big part of the trailers where I was like, I'm pretty out already, but I'm going to watch it because you have to watch it to have your fucking decision. That's what all these fucking retards say. You can't go off of a trailer because that's what trailers are for. So it starts off with Hal picking up John. John's like, no, sir, yes, sir. He's a proper guy and he's a soldier. He's got to respect his leadership. That quickly changes. So Hal's a dick at the get-go, but apparently they've been doing this for 2 months. Doing what? Who fucking knows? I guess training, because they have trainees now, which is also retarded. Sorry if I look terrible, by the way, too. I'm so sick right now. I have the worst headache. So now Hal's 60. So he was 30, and he looked terrible for a 30-year-old. So if he's 60 now, he looks old as shit. So we have this 6-year-old gray-haired Hal with a piece of shit leather jacket when it's supposed to be this great fucking fighter pilot jacket his dad gave him. But no, it's just go to Old Navy and pick out a fucking jacket. So apparently there's one ring between the two men, and so he's a trainee, which hasn't been done before, and the Guardians on Oa apparently chose John. That would have been great to see. So they chose John, but John doesn't have a ring, so he has to get trained. It's like, I don't understand what you guys are doing. And all these changes. And so they'll say like, oh, well, there's never been trainees and everything. It's like, well, there is now. It's like, yeah, because you guys wrote it that way because you're fucking retarded. So I guess we're going to go with that and see where it goes. And there's like these mysteries all laced out because it's apparently True Detective, but fucking Green Lanterns. Sorry, Lanterns, because we don't want to call it Green Lanterns. And then so we do a test. We take fucking Hal Jordan and John, and they go in the car. Hal's a hot shot. He drives around his donut quick. And then Hal throws the ring on the dash. They launch it off. Hal basically tries to kill him without any previous training. Just goes for it. And then John saves himself off screen. And we don't get to see that because the budget, it's an HBO show, but the budget's still shit. So I'm not going to say a lot of positives. I wrote 2 things and they're nothing. So enjoy bitching, because that's what this is, because I've wanted a good Green Lantern show or movie forever. So here I am pissed, and fuck all of you who don't fucking understand it. So he almost kills John. How does he live? We don't know. And then we find out, he has bubble wrap. Sure. And then he has the ring. Why is he not trying to use it to walk or to fly or to do anything? No, let's just cut to him walking pissed off. And then, so we get the backup conscious of Hal. This is kind of an interesting thing. I don't necessarily think it's done that well, but the fact that the ring is kind of interfering or whatnot, and we get the version of Hal that's like 10 years older. You can't tell because he looks the fucking same, because we chose an actor who looks old as shit all the time. But then, yeah, we deal with that in the future with Hal, like a couple minutes later. And it's kind of a nothing burger. It says there's hail in Nebraska. So we find out Rushville, Nebraska is where a lot of it's going to take place. So there's things peppered in that like kind of gives you a bit of background of what we're dealing with, but not really anything. So they all know Hal is GL. We find out on TV, we really find, and he doesn't wear a mask, which is dumb as shit. He should have a mask. And then so they're at the taco place, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, how's Jordan?" Da da da. And then he talks to fucking what's his name, the taco guy who works at the taco place, or he was just there, about, or two people. He talks to two people, the woman about like putting on the suit at special occasions, and then talks to the other guy about like he trying to prove it to himself or whatever. It's like, oh my god, this is so stupid. And then he takes off as soon as Hal or John tells him about the what the ring told him about Nebraska, and so he flies, and it's super quick. But he's got no suiting up scene. He's got no construct around him. It's just him floating like a fucking piss missile, which is not really how it's supposed to be at all. So cool. And then so we get introduced to the football scene, the shooting, all that stuff. And then there's Sheriff Kane, which is one of the many fucking modern written characters. I'm not going to shit on Jon Stewart. Like, yes, they're handing off this legacy to a black guy, and that's clearly a motive for the decision-making process. But I love Jon Stewart. I love, what's it called? The Justice League, like, animated series and the sequel, Unlimited. He's great. But I knew in my head that John was doing that, and then Hal was off doing bigger shit, more Green Lantern focus. This show fucking kills Hal, and that's an absolute abomination. Spoiler. But everyone knew that because it's been peppered all throughout the meat marketing, and there's a reason why they chose a fucking 6-year-old, not a fucking 4-year-old. So it needs more. One sec. So we get like a 40-year-old woman, a sheriff. Some issues with that, but we'll give her a little bit of credit until we get to the judge, because that's where it really is noticeable. So John figures out the football shooting pretty quick, but he's wrong. But kudos to Hal for giving him a chance to prove himself. And then fast forward, we find the guy who looks suspicious. John fucks up, and I'm happy that John makes mistakes. So that's one thing. He's not just like the best at it automatically. If he was a female, they would have fucking done that though. So he takes off sprinting, and like they have this chase scene. It was funny though when they get in the gymnasium, because John is sprinting like Tom Cruise, and it was just like, God, yeah, it's good form, but like it just looked goofy. And then so they get him, they arrest him. Hal's kind of pissed, but whatever. And then they go to this bar, and then Hal gets this stupid fucking idea. I don't mind Hal being kind of recklessly a bit juvenile, but I don't like him being a dick. I don't like him speaking down to John, and I don't like that he's a poor mentor. There's a lot of characterizations that are really shit with him especially, and there's things that they kind of get, but it's too overshadowed by a lot of the negative things they change. And even if they had that be the case with him being like 20 or 30, you could reason that, but he's 60. This is him at his like, strongest wisdom level, and should be, eager to teach someone. But that's obviously not the case. So John and Hal talk about, how did you really get the ring after he puts on this stupid song. But so he talks about like Abin Sur, and that's great that they lace that in, because a lot of people who don't know the story get it in a fucking Spark Notes edition. But it's dumb as shit that the ring goes to him like in his bedroom or whatever. That's not how it works. It's not how it worked. Sorry, in the comics, he crashed his fighter plane, and he met up with Abin Sur's crashed plane, and he was flying a plane, and it was all through his work. It wasn't him being at home in bed. And then he eventually fights the fucking guys because he wants to go to jail so he can interrogate the other guy, which is a really fucking retarded plan, but that's the show's writing. So, and obviously Hal's stupid. He doesn't think about consequences, so he's just going to go with it, gung-ho. And then so we do that, and then 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes into the fight, he's flirting. John's flirting with this girl who's not good looking. I wonder why they did that. Because the fucking hot jacked guy has to be with someone lesser than him. It's literally like women wrote this show and people who don't fucking respect the comics. So, like, we have to emasculate men, we have to disrespect the property, and we have to, like, throughout the whole show, focus on women in certain degrees. So we got the sheriff cop. Yes, women can be sheriffs, women can be police officers, but she's kind of young. Most sheriffs are old, and deservingly so. They have to get there. They have to earn that role. The woman who's hitting on him really quickly, not attractive. I don't think John would stop being professional like he has been for the most part, minus arguing with Hal right after he tried to kill him, just for whatever. And then my favorite part of this whole modern horseshit is when they get to the judge. So before that, though, so Hal's getting beat up. Sheriff and everyone shows up, like, immediately, which is retarded because we have a mass shooting. You'd think they'd be busy with that. And there's also potential aliens, but no, they're going to go to the bar for, dumb as fuck. And there's also a lot of them, not like one or two cops. And then, so John fucks the girl in the car immediately. And then later it's revealed who she is, but it's like, what the fuck? So we get jump forward to the like Hal's arrested. So we go to the judge scene and him trying to get bailed out. So this is where the sheriff comes back into play. And I noticed this before this, but the judge is another woman. Again, women can be judges. Women can have roles of authority and all that stuff, and they do, and they deserve it. However, it's hard to not notice that in this DCU where Superman's a whiny bitch, Supergirl has no, heroic message. It's just you can kill people when you're trying to tell someone not to kill people, and she's above the law, she's above everyone, and the list goes on and on. I'm just going to skip past all the other examples because there's enough out there, and I think most people are seeing that the DCU is fucking shit. And yeah, women first, men second, racists last, all this shit. And like, sure, you can reason the women needing to be in spots of authority and all that, but what does the woman do? She's rash with her decision making. What does the sheriff do? She's fucking trying to belittle the men, all this stuff. And it's all normal. It's all okay. It's never like, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. It's like, no, they're allowed to do that because they earned this spot. That's where it's like, go fuck yourself. And then, so let's cut to the bail, the lawyer comes in. It's the sheriff's wife. Who would have thought, or the sheriff's husband. And then they decide to have dinner at the big fucking fancy Yellowstone house. They go there. It's militia everywhere. It's like, ooh, who are they? And then Hal's offers a beer, constructs a bottle opener for a twist off. Sure. It's another way to belittle a woman, but sure. And then, so the guy is William Macon, alien buff, probably an alien, whatever, don't really care. And he's kind of a decent actor in it. A lot of them are decent actors, and it's HBO. They hired good actors, whatever. But the whole scene is kind of weird, and you don't know where it's going, and you kind of meet more of their background. Like, you meet more of this family and their country life than you do in the Kents in the entire Superman movie, and that's fact. And then, and then so we meet the grandma, Zoe Macon, who was making out with John and fucking him and all this other stuff. So, they had to have some family drama because this is an HBO show, and we're edgy. We say fucking shit every 2 seconds. So he fucked his wife. Cool, thanks. We needed that. And then in the daylight, you see, oh wow, she's actually just as bad looking as she looked in the bar. But John didn't need any drinks to do that. And then they say bye. Also, John's like a vegan and has like tofu burger. Like, man, I'm surprised they didn't do that with Hal because they fucking hate him. But sure, let's make this, war fucking trained mint looking athlete a vegan, because that's how, it works. So William, the dad or grandpa or whoever, he knows that John slept with his wife. He makes comments like nothing about, meat off another man's grill or whatever. It's like, sure. And then there's one scene that I didn't laugh at, but I was like, that's kind of Hal. Was when Hal finds out about, like, he hears it back, and then he's like kind of impressed. He's like, I'm impressed. We haven't even been here 24 hours. It's like, that's something Hal would say, but that doesn't fucking make up for the amount of time we just dealt with watching this shit, especially that part with, like, leading up to the wife, all this, whatever. They're probably all aliens, mind hunters, whatever. It's just weird. There's so many scenes where I'm like, that's inserted because they're trying to be edgy. Hal saying fuck, shit, every 5 seconds. The sex, the cigarettes, the drinking. It's not there to improve the show. It's there because they're allowed to do it. And it's just unintelligent and dumb, and fuck. It's retarded. They have such a golden ticket with this property. So then they talk about how... Sorry, they cut to the interrogation scene with the guy from the jail, because they got out, and I guess they have an opportunity to investigate more, which, sure, because the sheriff let them come with them. So they tell the sheriff, it's like, how many species can, pass as human with their tech? And they say 14 species, which is like, that's a lot? No, probably not. That's probably not a lot, but at least it's not more than 0 or 1. So that's supposed to, like, set the first breadcrumb for her believing. And then Hal's interrogating, and this is probably the best scene with, not even good writing, because they use a property that's theirs and they're trying to promote for the next month or 2 or whatever with it. But so he asks questions about the football stuff. The guy nails it. And then he asks, where did Harry Potter go to school? Which is like, see what you did there. HBO, Harry Potter show. It's going to be another woke piece of shit. Black Snape. Can't wait. Fucking terrible. So he doesn't get the answer right, because all these, like, common knowledge things he didn't research. Makes sense in terms of Hal being smart enough to ask these things. And then the alien switches, and he's kind of like, I'm not fucking wasting my time trying to pretend anymore. This guy knows. And he's like, he talks about the bomb in him, and he asks Hal, like, you've been away for 48 hours. When was the last time you charged your ring with your lantern? And Hal's kind of like, fucker, he knows. And that's obviously the first big, like, okay, you might be fucked, but probably okay. And then you get all these, like, mystery box things. It's a pilot, which is, like, fair, but it's like, are they going anywhere? Are they going to resolve these things? Probably not. And then, so he blows up, fucks up the building. Hal uses the construct to stop him. Still no suit, because we don't do that. No glowing around him, just whatever he makes. Brutal. And then the whole city's in shambles because there's a bomb explosion. And then we cut to 2026. Ooh, what's it gonna be? And then so we get John driving the snow. Where is it? We don't know. Kind of get a hint, oh, we're back where we were, but it's winter time and it's 10 years later. He's got the goatee. He looks very much like Jon Stewart that we know. He looks great. That's not enough. You can't disrespect Hal and tell me that this guy is better. It's like if you never made a Peter Parker Spider-Man and you just only did Miles Morales, or worse, you kill him and then you fucking give everything to John first episode, because that's what they do. They fucking kill Hal. So it's 2026. We don't know where he's going. He meets up with the sheriff at the stadium. They go through the snow. They look up. There's somebody there. Walk up the steps, and Hal Jordan's there covered in snow with a bullet in his head. So the rumors were true. Hal dies in the first episode. I fucking hate this show so much. I'm going to keep watching it because I want to know how bad it gets. But there could be a point where I stop watching this. Hal Jordan's one of my favorite characters in all of fiction by far, in superheroes alone. He's like top 4. It goes like Batman, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Green Lantern. None of those orders. Batman's number 1 for sure. Green Lantern might be 2, might be 3. I don't know. But I was so looking forward to this. And well before I knew he died to me because I knew how they treated him. In the marketing, the shows, it's so fucking bullshit. There's so many examples where if they did this with something else, it would be like, why is that your decision? So yeah, I fucking hate this show. I knew I was going to hate it, and I went into it white knuckling because I knew where it was going to go, and they did it. So you can't tell someone, no, you got to watch it to tell, fuck you, you're wrong, you're just, bigot or whatever. How about this? How about explain to me how I can erase my mind, go into it thinking I'm, as retarded as you people, and then pretending it's something great because it's not. Yeah, go fuck yourself. It's a piece of shit show. So this episode, there's some things that were done well, and what that means is that somebody hit start on record and then hit fucking end and then submitted it. That's great. They had somebody hand in. It's a pilot. We can't be pumping shows out, call it a pilot, and then not wait for fucking reviews. They should get canceled if it's shit, and this is shit. So fuck calling it a pilot. And yeah, how's a pilot? Do we see that? No. Fuck you. Terrible fucking adaptation, if you want to call it that. I think every adaptation of Batman is better as an adaptation than Green Lantern. I think Batman Robin's better, more respectful. Batman Forever, a lot more. And then if you want to go like Adam West, whatever. Any campy thing is better than this fucking garbage because they fucking kill the main guy. Even if he comes back, I don't give a fuck. I haven't been this mad about a show since like Daredevil Born Again episode 1, season 1. When they killed Foggy and they just disrespect everything. So 1, it's woke. Yeah, I'm going to say it's woke piece of shit. It's modern trash. Same kind of thing, different though. I bet you so many comic book writers and fans will hate this. So it's a adaptational fucking nightmare. It's cast terribly because Hal isn't fucking a 6-year-old man who swears every 2 seconds, and Kyle Chandler's not fucking Green Lantern. And the lore is just so bad, but that falls under this one. And then, it's just edgy for no reason, which means they swear too much for no fucking reason. They don't know what writing is, where it doesn't take you out of it. And I could do another couple hands, but here's the 2 that matter the most. Go fuck yourself, DC Studios. Go fuck yourself, James Gunn. Everyone else who wrote this. Tom King, fuck you. Who's the other guy? Who's the fucking head guy? Peter Saffron, go fuck yourself. Everyone involved in this, go fuck yourself. I'm going to watch it illegally so you don't get my money. But you guys are fucking awful. Go fuck yourself. Also, wrong finger. I put it on for a reason. It's that fucking finger, you dumb pieces of shit. Okay, peace out. 2 out of 10. No, fuck that. 0 out of 10. 0.5 out of 10. Fucking awful.